I ain't never seen that man with Youngboy before that shit happened with V-Roy. You see what I'm saying? It's like he using that nigga like as a face card to be around him, like to make them look a little tough. You see what I'm saying?
Who popped that boy? Who stretched that boy?
After the situation that took King Von's life, it looks like some OBlock members are still trying to get their get back. Lil Tim is online trolling again, even though it's been 5 years, and things are starting to heat up in a dangerous way. Today, we're breaking down the street politics that got the entire hip-hop world on edge. Before we jump into this story, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Every like helps the channel grow and keeps us bringing you the realest content. So now let's get into it.
To understand what's happening now, we have to go back to November 6, 2020. That's the night King Von was shot and killed outside an Atlanta hookah lounge. Lil Tim, Quando Rondo's close associate, was the one who pulled the trigger. He claimed self-defense, the court agreed, and the charges were dropped. But the streets never forgot, and they never forgave. For 5 years, this beef has been simmering. NBA Youngboy has been taking shots at OBlock in his music. Lil Tim has been moving around with YB like he's untouchable. And OBlock has been quiet but watching. What happened this week turned that slow simmer into a full boil. King Von wasn't just another rapper. He was OBlock royalty. He came up under Chief Keef, but he had a different kind of presence. While Sosa was making drill music, Von was living that lifestyle. His name was known in the streets long before the industry recognized him. When he died, it wasn't just the loss of an artist. OBlock lost their leader, their voice, their hope of making it out. Now here's where things get wild. NBA Youngboy just dropped a freestyle called Zero IQ, and the track is straight disrespectful to King Von's memory. But Lil Tim took it even further. He got on TikTok, vibing to the song and rapping along to the most offensive lines, particularly the ones saying, "Who popped that boy? I'm him. Who started that boy? I'm him." That's what set everyone off.
Pop that boy. Who stretched that boy? Who caught that boy? I'm him.
You got on that plate that pot smoking like that.
Lil Tim wasn't hiding behind no subliminals. He was straight up bragging about killing King Von on social media for everybody to see. The disrespect was wild. But what really had the streets locked in was the timing. Tim dropped that TikTok on November 6th, 2025, the exact day. Von died just 5 years later, and on top of that, Tim's own grandfather passed on the same date in 2025. Same day, 5 years apart. The internet went into full meltdown connecting all that. But here's why that TikTok hit different from every other diss. Up until now, most dudes kept it in the music, subliminals, coded lines, little metaphors so they could play dumb if things got messy. Tim threw all that out. He stared straight into the camera, rapped the bars word for word, and made sure everybody knew exactly who he was talking about. And the video wasn't no random vibe moment either. It looked like a studio setup. Clean lighting, good audio, everything crisp. That was planned content meant for maximum attention and maximum disrespect. Munna Ikey from OBlock wasn't letting that slide. He hopped online immediately and checked Tim directly. Ikey said Tim been using Von's death as a face card for clout and called out how Tim only started hanging with NBA Youngboy after the whole Von situation went down.
Man with Youngboy before that shit happened with V-Roy. You see what I'm saying? It's like he using that nigga like as a face card to be around him, like to make them look a little tough. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's how I look at it. But I ain't really like.
So if it was
It ain't much I can say because I'm still I'm working on my way up and shit. You see what I'm saying? I ain't. If my time gonna come, it's whatever. But it's just that shit like that specific.
In that interview with FYB J Main that's been going viral, Munna Ikey laid it out plain. I ain't never seen that man with Youngboy before the situation with Von happened. He using that as a face card to be around him, to make them look tougher. Ikey wasn't just talking about the music either. He called out the way. Lil Tim been moving since the shooting, dropping songs about it, bragging on stage, acting like he's some kind of street legend when, according to Ikey, the police was involved. You got off, bro. It ain't like you did some street work and it stayed in the streets.
You understand the whole situation or what?
I understand, but it's like, all right, you did what you did, okay.
Because
cool.
I heard, not to cut you out, but I heard a lot of people from y'all side getting that, some people saying he did with like.
Nah, but he'll do what any street nigga do if a nigga, he got to defend his people. But it's like, all right, you did what you did, that's cool, all right. Boom, the police was involved, you got off, bro. It ain't like you did some street shit and like, it's just left in the streets. That shit on some police shit too at the same time. You get what I'm saying? Like, niggas will do shit. Like, it's a difference from doing some street shit and I know you did some street shit, right? And your name, you in the streets, like, your name ring or whatever. But you did some street shit, whatever, you claim, but the police was involved in that shit. But it's like, I don't like the way he go about it, like, how niggas be flexing and shit. Like, don't act like you did some shit and just got away, like, off the chain, like, off that. Like, bro, niggas ain't, like, it's some shit I can't even say. But it's like, I don't like how certain niggas be moving.
But Ikey's response went deeper than checking Tim's credibility. He questioned the whole narrative from that night in Atlanta. According to Ikey and other OBlock members, The situation wasn't as straightforward as Tim and his supporters claim. They're saying King Von wasn't even the aggressor that night, and the media twisted the story to make Tim look like a hero protecting his friend. Bro got lucky, really, Ikey said in the interview. It ain't like he was face to face with that man. His back was turned, whatever.
Like on some easy shit, you see what I'm saying? Okay. Bro, you got lucky, all you did what you did, you defended you stood your ground, whatever. But it's like, it's just the way like had be playing out now, like all that on stage and okay, you
tough,
like
yeah,
gang, like I don't be liking that gang because
Bro was gangster.
Bro was a gangster. This is what I'm saying.
He died a gangster.
Niggas ain't doing no like with shit like that, bro. It's like, bro, you got lucky, really, bro. Like it ain't like you was on no you ain't finna face this man face to face and just you got lucky. His back was turned, whatever.
He gotta be humble about that type of situation, because the same way he did what he did, that could happen to him too.
You see what I'm saying? I feel like he ain't humble about that shit, like, cause the same way like you did what you did, that shit could happen to you too, gang. Like.
And here's the part most people overlook. This beef goes deeper than one shooting. It started when King Von and his crew pulled up on Quando Rondo outside that Atlanta hookah lounge. Von had a heavy street reputation, multiple bodies, never backing down. But here's what Ikey and the OBlock guys say about Lil Tim. He wasn't no real street dude before all this. He was just Quando's homeboy who happened to be armed that night. When Von and his people approached Quando, Tim saw his boy in trouble and reacted like a loyal friend. He protected him. The real issue was what happened afterward. Instead of staying quiet and moving carefully, Lil Tim started using the situation to build a reputation. He connected himself to NBA Youngboy, made music about the incident, and rode that wave. That is what angered OBlock. Not just the fact that he killed Von, but the way he acted afterward. The NBA Youngboy connection is where the politics get complicated. Youngboy and Lil Durk had been beefing long before the Von situation. When Tim killed Von, it gave Youngboy a weapon to use against Durk and OBlock. Tim went from being unknown to suddenly being on tour with Youngboy. Ike mentioned this in his interview, saying he had seen Quando Rondo with YB before and that made sense. The street politics are layered. Quando Rondo had been signed to Youngboy's 4KT label for years, and they had a real relationship. Tim, on the other hand, was just Quando's friend from Savannah, who was pushed into the spotlight because of one night in Atlanta. When that TikTok dropped, everything exploded. Within hours, the video hit millions of views. Von fans flooded the comments with threats and insults, while Youngboy fans defended Tim. Then, OBlock members started posting their own responses across social media. Some posted old videos of Von, others posted cryptic, threatening messages. One OBlock member posted a video of Von's music with the caption, "Long live Von, we ain't forget nothing." The message was clear. OBlock still considers the situation active, regardless of the court outcome. Meanwhile, NBA Youngboy's camp stayed quiet publicly. IB has not responded directly, but people close to him say he has increased security around Tim and the rest of the crew. The November 6th situation added even more tension. King Von died on November 6, 2020, at around 2:22 a.m. outside Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta. 5 years later, on November 6, 2025, Lil Tim's grandfather passed away. The internet immediately connected the two events. Von supporters called it cosmic justice, saying Von was getting revenge. They pointed to the fact that Tim posted a disrespectful TikTok on the same day his grandfather died. Tim's supporters called it a coincidence, but the timing felt eerie, especially because Tim is known to be calculated with his online activity. Some people looked deeper, noting that Tim's grandfather was the one who raised him. Losing him on the same date Von died had people talking about spiritual balance. Chicago's response was immediate. Multiple OBlock members posted cryptic threats. Others posted old videos of Von with captions like "We still here" and "Justice coming." Even members of FBG, Duck Circle, despite their own issues with OBlock, showed respect to Von's memory and criticized Tim. The situation escalated so much that some venues canceled NBA Youngboy shows because of security concerns. Promoters want nothing to do with the potential violence that could come from OBlock members trying to confront Lil Tim at a show. His recent TikTok triggered an immediate backlash. OBlock members flooded social media with threats and disses, and the comment section on that TikTok turned into a full-scale war between Von fans and YB fans. But this is not just online drama. Sources close to the situation say OBlock has been actively looking for Lil Tim. They believe he's been hiding behind NBA, Youngboy's security and fame, and they want a direct confrontation. Law enforcement is paying attention as well. Atlanta police have reportedly increased patrols around areas where Youngboy and his team are known to move, hoping to prevent another deadly situation like the one that took King Von's life. The music industry is watching closely. Record labels are discussing whether the safety risks tied to artists involved in active street conflicts are worth it. Some insiders claim that Tim's TikTok crossed a line even the industry won't defend. This entire situation shows how social media has changed the landscape. Years ago, beef stayed in the streets. Now people post videos bragging about violent incidents and are shocked when the repercussions come back to them. Lil Tim could have stayed quiet, benefited from being associated with Youngboy, and avoided unnecessary attention. Instead, he kept provoking the situation. And now OBlock feels obligated to respond, especially in the name of King Von. Von's death created a cycle of retaliation that has lasted 5 years. And every time it seems to settle, something like this TikTok reignites it. This also reflects a larger issue, how drill culture and street conflicts continue to pull young men into cycles of violence. Von was only 26, Tim is still young too. Both could have been building something positive, but the environment they came from keeps dragging them back in. Overall, it's a tragic situation. Von was a rising artist whose life could have gone differently. Lil Tim acted to defend a friend, but now lives with permanent consequences. OBlock members like Munna Ikey feel obligated to protect Von's legacy. As for the November 6th date, maybe it's coincidence, maybe not. What's clear is that the TikTok made Lil Tim a top target in Chicago. This conflict has been growing for years and shows no sign of slowing down. Every diss, every post, every song escalates the tension. At this point, the question is less about if something happens and more about when. Was Lil Tim wrong for posting that TikTok? Or was he simply exercising free speech? And does the November 6th connection mean anything? Let me know your thoughts.
All right, guys, that's it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching all the way through. I really appreciate the support. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. I'm out.